Hi friends and welcome. I'm back for you. I'm going to cook for you again today. Today it's not soup, it's chili. And I have to tell you, I make the world's best chili. You may disagree and you may think you do. I do. This is an old recipe. I think originally came from my mother-in-law and I've tweaked it a lot over the years. I make it with boneless chicken breast. I love chicken. And I love the texture of chicken, and it's healthier this way. If you always use ground beef and you've never tried chicken, try chicken. It's delicious. So at this point, I have cubed up. I cut all the fat off the chicken breast, and I cubed it up, and I'm browning it right now. So I'll tilt you down, and you can watch my process. You might want to, get a paper and pen so you can. I'll tell you the measurements. I'm not exact on everything, but it's fantastic. So let me angle you down. Hopefully this will work. All right, so again, this is just one boneless breast. This makes a batch of, we eat it a couple nights at least. So it would at least feed 4 people, maybe 5. So when you get it pretty cooked, chopped onion, I didn't, however much you want. I just threw in the remainders of an onion I had in the fridge, so maybe half another onion, maybe a half. Try to do something a little different than painting all the time. Hopefully you enjoy this. Give you a little glimpse more into my life a little bit, and so hopefully you can see everything. I'll throw out some of the things that I use as I go along too. For example, I have several cutting boards. I have a red one that I only use for raw meat, and I keep it only for raw meat. I think that's a good idea, and less chance of contamination, so that's one of the things that I do. I mean, we all have our little tools, don't we, that we like. I think, if you have nice tools to work with, just it's a nicer experience, I think, cooking when you have nice pans and nice tools and everything. So we get it pretty much cooked. The chicken pretty much, I know this isn't very exciting. I tried to get it started before I came on. And I generally don't add salt to things. I'll tell you why. Most of the things that you use, like I use steak seasoning, Creole seasoning, all those things have salt in them. If you read the ingredients, usually the number one thing is salt. So I don't feel the need to also add salt. You can salt it when you eat it if you need to. This particular recipe, I have canned tomatoes and canned chili beans. There's probably some salt in some of those things, but again, I don't dump salt in here. So once this is cooked, I did the chicken breast in a little bit of olive oil. And again, if this was beef right now, I would be draining it and trying to get all the fat out of it. And I would use lean beef too if I was going to use beef. All right, so I do look at a recipe every time. I do have everything written down on a recipe card. I'm not a person that doesn't use a recipe. Some cooks are like that. But then again, I'm not exact probably. So a little pepper. All right. You have an option here. You can use 2 cans of diced tomatoes. I use, and you can be anything. These happen to be the Red Gold Petite diced tomatoes. We're going to use 1 of those. And because we like it hot, instead of 2 cans of that, my other can of tomatoes is the hot diced tomatoes with habaneros, the Rotel, because we like it spicy. All right, so add that. Now this is what I love. I would not make chili without these. This is Joan of Arc spicy chili beans. Hopefully you can see that. They're a have-to ingredient. I might do some different things, but I have to have those. I'll show you the can a little better here once I got it emptied. I would go to multiple stores to look for those if I had to. So they're in a sauce, and again, I'm sure there is salt in there. Pinto beans, water, tomato paste, and there's spices, and they're so good. They're so good. All right, we're making a mess here. I'm tethered to you here. Hold on, I'm going to bring you with me. Isn't that exciting? Give me a paper towel here to wipe my hands. All right, let's go back. All right, so we've got our beans and our tomatoes in. Okay. Already looking good, right? And our chicken and our onions. Now we start spicing it up. The measuring spoons that I have, I'll point out to you, are Pampered Chef. I think they're Pampered Chef. They all stack up like that. And the nice thing about these is they all fit down into jars. They're narrow, even the tablespoon, and they all clip together. Again, you know, nice tools. So, all right, let's start adding our spices. I recently bought a set of spice jars and labels from Amazon, trying to get a little more organized. So the first thing we add is cinnamon. Not necessarily the first, that's the first thing I'm adding. And I'm adding a teaspoon of cinnamon. So write that down. This is one of the things that I adjusted over the years and I added to the recipe that it did not initially call for. Cinnamon. See, these are nice, they go down in the jar. So, teaspoon of cinnamon. All right, then 2 teaspoons of oregano. You got to be careful with that, don't you? Two teaspoons of oregano. Chili powder, you got to have that. And 2 tablespoons of chili powder. See, this is a tablespoon and it fits in that jar. These are so nice. And I don't take a knife to level it off. I mean, I know that's the correct way. I took home ec for years and years, but it's close enough. All right, then this is something too that I added to my chili that the original recipe did not call for. Let me try to clean this off so we can use this again. I put 3 tablespoons of brown sugar in. You don't have to add that, you could add less. And I'm sure I'm not I'm not exactly getting that. I like the sweetness, I like the cinnamon, and I like the sugar. Okay, so 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. All right, where are we at here? We like mushrooms. You don't have to add mushrooms, but I have a jar of sliced mushrooms I'm putting in. Again, we like them. And some minced garlic. I'm not real particular with that. Throw in a bit of that. Now, if you were not going to use the hot tomatoes, which I didn't years ago, I would add some pepper flakes, maybe some jalapenos. But because of these hot tomatoes, I don't really need to do that. But if you never put chicken in chili, it's just delicious in there. Again, I love the texture, and We eat a lot of chicken around here. All right, are we forgetting anything? Let's see. We got our boneless chicken breast, our onions, then we put our diced tomatoes and our tomatoes with habaneros and our spicy chili beans, pepper, cinnamon, oregano, chili powder, brown sugar, mushrooms, and garlic. You know, that's really all we need. If I felt like I needed a little more heat, I could put some pepper flakes. We use a lot of those too. So I'll let it cook now, simmer on a low simmer for probably 3 hours. We usually put a little, not always, maybe a little grated cheese on top. A little sour cream is good on it, and chili crackers, and that's about it. So, all right, hope you enjoyed watching that. It's delicious, I promise. Try it. Okay, thanks for joining me. I'll paint for you probably next time. Bye-bye.